Hello and welcome back to another Den Den Boys video. For those who are new to the channel, my name is Garth, this is
Vaughn,
and together we are the Den Den Boys. For those who are new to our channel also, a little bit about our channel. If you haven't watched us before, we are obviously big fans of all things retro. And also we like to do some games on this channel that are a little bit more obscure, maybe that people haven't seen or don't know about, and give you the tip about whether you should go out and get them and spend your hard-earned money on those games. Give you the hot tips. So again, on that theme, we have a little bit of a hidden gem for the PS2. What are we playing this week?
today we're playing Heavenly Guardian.
For the PS2.
PS2, this is an American copy.
Yeah, I picked up an NTSC copy a while back. It's been sitting on the shelf for a while. We've been wanting to play it. Because the history of the game. What can you tell people about the game?
Yeah, so what it's kind of part of is the Pocky and Rocky universe from Natsume, Taito.
Which we're huge fans of.
Big fans, yeah, going back to the Super Nintendo and PC Engine and whatnot. And when we heard that there was a sort of spiritual successor to those games made around 07, 08, initially I think on the Wii and PS2.
Yep.
But with the catch, it wasn't, they lost the license and had to pull the Pocky and Rocky sort of characters from the game. But you were still left with a game that was built around that sort of design.
Yeah, so like you said, it started off with the idea that it was going to be a Pocky and Rocky game, yeah?
Yep.
And then for some reason, the licensing with Taito
and Square Enix owned Taito, and they fell out with Starfish, the developers of this game. Yeah. So they had to remove all the Pocky and Rocky references, but were still able to release a game that is kind of a spiritual successor for modern day console.
Yeah. So that's what it is, and that's part of the reason why we wanted to play. So like I said, we're big fans of Pocky. Does it, we'll talk about how it plays, if you haven't seen the video, and obviously played it a little bit last night. So how does it play like Pocky and Rocky? How would you describe how it plays?
Yeah, so it's a top-down, walk-along sort of shooter. 2D graphics. You're walking around, you're shooting sort of projectiles at enemies that sort of swarm at you.
Yep. Has the rapid fire, so you can just hold down the shoot button and shoot out.
And there's like a dodge button, a roll out of the way button, and a bomb button.
A bomb button.
And a couple of different shot types, spread shot, single shot,
some pickups, some life.
You've got 3 hit points.
And the goal has you picking up items throughout the stage, and there's some sort of secret hidden paths off that you've got to find. So there's a bit of exploration in the game. It's not a completely linear experience. Pocky and Rocky is a bit more linear, I guess. But there's a little shootouts off the side, but it's mostly pretty linear. This one's a little bit more adventurous in terms of like finding secret passages.
And the level design's a bit more sprawling, a bit more open.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Of course, 2-player co-op.
And obviously, 2-player co-op. Yeah, that's a big factor.
Although you're sort of the same character, with just colour palette. Whereas Pocky and Rocky had sort of the Shrine Maiden and the Raccoon.
And sort of very different experiences in terms of the gameplay or the story mode from 1-player to 2-player. In the 1-player mode, they had this great story intro about the villagers being possessed, and then you needed to find these 7 items to clear the curse. And in the 2-player mode, they were just like, here's 2 sisters, and they're having a competition to see who's the most beautiful. Off you go, find snowballs. It was a really weird thing.
Yeah, it has like sort of anime cutscene sort of story intro. Yeah, in 1-player you've got sort of 5 different pictures. 2-player kind of 1 picture, and the story was a bit silly.
Yeah, totally. So that's how it played. Similarities to Pocky and Rocky. Not as polished as Pocky and Rocky, but you can see where the tie-in comes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some pros and cons.
Yeah.
Like we always do. We've played it now. We put a bit of time into it last night. What did you like?
Yeah, look, I like the I suppose the designs of the enemies. The feudal Japan sort of. Yeah. I mean, there was certainly your shooting weapon kind of made a predominantly sort of loud noise over the soundtrack. But I liked 2-player co-op,
2-player co-op's great.
It works well.
Yeah, it works well.
You can sort of share items and sort of power-ups.
The levels themselves were pretty interesting. I thought it was a nice mixture of levels. I like the the sort of exploration in the stages to go find some, see little item boxes or to find pickups that, if you didn't explore it, you wouldn't have found. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, the actual mechanic of shooting was nice enough.
The bosses had their sort of health points.
Well, that was a nice, because how many times you play a game where you go, what's the life bar? Where you can clearly see the life bar above each boss, like a hit point.
Countdown. They were quite big health bars.
Some of them were. They were really cool.
But yeah, you knew where you were at.
Cool bosses. They were pretty decent.
That first level skeleton was...
Yeah, the skeleton boss was pretty rad.
Really cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
To kick off with.
Yeah, totally. There was a lot to like. It had a lot going for it. Let's talk about the cons. What were some of the things you didn't like?
Yeah, I think we were saying this, that from a structure perspective of if you died, could the second player join back in? And the answer is no.
Yeah, very weird.
And then if you were playing a single player and you died, the restart point would be way back.
Well, not even if you were playing single. Well, definitely single player had you go all the way back to like a really horrible checkpoint.
Yeah.
Almost sometimes right back to the start of the stage. But in two-player mode, so when you're playing two-player, and what we're trying to say with the restart, when you were playing two-player, if you lost your 3 hit points and you lost a life, you just jumped back in and kept going, right? You didn't die. As soon as your partner died in the game, so if I dropped my life and I was down to game over, rather than letting you take your 3 hit points and then losing a life and moving on, it would kick you out back to some ridiculous checkpoint. It's like, why did that change just because the second player died? Like, you should have just been able to lose a life and continue on.
Yeah, there were some strange decisions.
Really strange mechanic.
That really did sort of zap the fun out of it. Like, especially in that. If you were both alive and both playing, it seemed to treat you better.
It was much fairer in two-player mode. So that was a really strange mechanic. I didn't like that. In terms of cons, like you could see that it maybe was a bit rushed. I don't know, all the money came out of the project once the Pocky and Rocky license. It's not an extremely polished
bit rough around the edges.
For a PS2 game, like I think you even mentioned last night, the fact that it doesn't look any better than a SNES game and it's on the PS2, it kind of screams at how much it was, maybe pushed.
It almost has like a cell-shaded look of the palette. Like
it's not that the design's bad, it's just that it just doesn't feel finished. It feels a bit budget.
A bit bare bones. Yeah.
Bit budget.
Yeah.
What else didn't you like about it, dude? I mean, obviously the continue part was the main killer.
Yeah, some of the level designs were a bit too sprawling. Like you get lost, and you have to kill all the enemies in a room so the door opens so you can get through. Like, and they reused that a little bit. Like I thought that was a design. Maybe you do that once or twice
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, if we were playing a big stage and one of us died, it almost sucked the fun out of it because you're almost like, I'm just going to kill myself, get back to 2 player. Because it was almost pointless doing 1 player. It was too hard. So.
Yeah, and the structure changes to be even more unfair.
Yeah, like I said, it's a weird one because it's more of a vibe. It's not really broken in any way except for that continue mechanic. It's not a bad game, but I guess we're leading into the thumbs up, thumbs down, go out and get it. Would you recommend it? Like, is it a game?
I think it's one for the hardcore Pocky and Rocky fan,
maybe
who wants to sort of try a next gen sort of spiritual successor. I don't. If you've got no connection to the franchise, is it going to rock your world? Like, or will you put up with some of those sort of deficits? I don't think so.
Saying that, it's the kind of game I do want to see the end of. But I guess. Maybe we're a little bit disappointed because we had high expectations with the Pocky and Rocky reference. We're like, the bar's here, and we love Pocky and Rocky, and maybe we're expecting something great, and we didn't quite get that, so maybe that's where the disappointment comes in. But I think the mechanics, like you said, suck the fun out of the game. The replayability of getting kicked back to a checkpoint that was ridiculous, and sort of being overwhelmed in 1-player mode. It seems like it's almost broken in single player. Like it's like either play
the
2 player.
Unbeatable, and you're getting kicked back so far every time. And then you get to game over.
So it's like, why would you play this in 1 player?
Whereas the 2-player, we were like rocking through some of those bosses like it was a different game.
Yeah, totally. So it's almost broken as a 1-player experience. Like I don't know why anyone would play this in 1 player. I'm with you. I'm kind of like I can't recommend this and say rush out and grab it. I mean, if you see it in passing, it is a bit of a hidden gem. I mean, if you saw it for the right price, it was cheap.
Yeah.
Snap it up. There's nothing wrong with it. But I wouldn't go breaking the bank to get it, or go out of your way to go search this game out.
It is available on the Switch eShop.
Yeah.
So maybe if it was on sale and you were happy with the digital copy.
And we did sort of say we're playing on the PS2. We don't know if the Switch version has had some improvements to it, whether the save. Well, that was the other thing, the save.
Yes.
It wouldn't let us save. You can't save your progress.
But you can save your high score.
So we were like 4 or 5 levels in, and we're thinking, okay, we've had a good run. We would like to save this, come back to it the next day. Couldn't save it. Or we actually did save it. We thought, great, it's saved. Went to the main menu, and all it had done was save your high score. But it would not let you do a stage select. It would not let you load the game.
You've got to beat the whole game to earn the stage select or something crazy.
Beat the whole game, and then you can go to the menu and do stage select. So why would I want to?
And there's no cheat codes for level select. Or
no.
Even if you.
So that's a big con, and that kind of killed it. So maybe the Switch version has improved upon that, and if so, and it lets you save after every stage, lets you have like some save points, I would more likely recommend it, but I can't recommend the PS2 version based on those 2 big factors: the checkpoint and 2-player versus 1-player not being good, and that save progress. And that's just
crazy.
Killer. It's killer. You'd be able to get through it if it wasn't.
Even if it had a password system, I'd take that.
Something. Yeah, it's just not quite right.
Yeah, and it's quite a late game for the PS2.
Yeah, so it should be right.
Yeah, 2007, 08. The PS3 was out.
So there you go. There's our review of Heavenly Guardian. Like I said, we're normally pretty glowing of the reviews we do, but I think we're both in the same boat. I don't think we'd recommend this one to rush out and grab.
Not wholeheartedly.
Yeah, just a bit disappointing.
But look, if you are a die-hard Pocky and Rocky fan and you're curious about the spiritual successor, by all means, take it for a spin. But yeah, just
don't get your hopes up.
Be warned. Yeah.
Don't get your hopes up. Yeah. All right. There you go. There's Heavenly Guardian for the PS2. In terms of the videos, thanks again for watching. If you like what we're doing, like, share, subscribe, comment, do all those great YouTube things, and then hopefully we'll see you very soon for another Den Den Boys video. Peace.
Peace.